Hello comrades, today I will take you on a ship journey through the waters of the narrow sea in search of happiness, gold, enemies and heart. Yes, hearts, Soren's exclusive weapon, the Heartseeker. But before that, I would like to tell you what exactly the narrow sea is. Well, the narrow sea is literally the narrow sea separating Westeros and Essos. The plot of the event is simple. After acquiring the ships, Daenerys wants to cross the narrow sea to reach Westeros, and we are to help her by sinking Euron Greyjoy's fleet. Yes, Euron is from House Greyjoy, exactly the same as Theon. He is the Iron King, and two words perfectly describe him: crazy, intelligent. His ship is Silence, which we defeat in the third stage of this event, and we sink Euron himself in the fourth stage. The Battle of Narrow Sea event lasts 5 days and is divided into 4 stages. The first 3 stages last 1 day, while the last 2, you gain rewards for completing goals in each stage, and you can earn additional rewards for completing them within a certain time. The objectives are simple as they involve either sinking the flagships or capturing the beacon in the region, which comes down to simple combat. Sorry, did I say simple? They are devilishly difficult and require foresight as well as estimation skills. I will try to explain the mechanics of this event to you so that you can score high next time. To make the game easier for myself, I play in my native language, but I hope everything will be understandable. The basis of every battle event is statistics. In the case of a confrontation with the Ironborn, what matters less is our survivability, only pure damage. It's difficult to increase them to high enough values outside of this event, but thanks to the salvage shipwreck mechanic, reaching 2000% damage is child's play. However, if life were as easy as in theory, the world would look completely different. Thanks to the salvage shipwreck mechanics, you can get not only statistics for your soldiers, but also the maximum level of awakening of commanders, the conversion of statistics such as health and defense into attack, as well as map fragments, voyage supplies, reducing enemy statistics, increasing counterattack, army size, and many other. The most important ones in my opinion are voyage supplies, as they are used not only for salvage shipwreck, but also for attacking opponents. We can't do anything without them, and their quantity is limited. The drop rate is also low, but in theory it can be increased. Later I will tell you how not to lose the thread. Next in importance for me are the conversion of defense and health into attack, reducing attack cost, army size, and statistics. In this order. Additionally, given the choice between a fragment of the treasure map and waking up a commander I don't need, I choose the second option. Why? Because this way I increase my chances of gaining voyage supplies by eliminating available options. I'm not entirely sure how the options are selected, but in almost every RNG algorithm, if we eliminate one of the possible options, the rest get increased chances. Let's imagine a game of 3 cups. The ball is hidden under one of the cups, so we have a 33% chance of finding it. But if we eliminate 1 cup from the game, the chances increase to 50%. If we want to increase our chances for a larger number of voyage supplies, higher scores before the event, we also have this option by awakening commanders to the maximum level. They are also then eliminated from the pool of possible bonuses. I mentioned something about the devilish difficulty level earlier, right? From the regular salvage shipwreck you can only get 50 voyage supplies, but the treasure map also rewards legendary commanders, e.g. Daenerys, as well as 100 voyage supplies, and awakening a legendary commander is difficult. Also a plus is the fact that there are not all possible commanders in the pool, because it would be a really difficult challenge to eliminate at least some of them from the pool. But let's get back to the game, or more precisely, to the ship. A big difficulty in scoring points is the duality of opponents. The vast majority of them have 2 types of units. Sometimes there are only archers, and bosses have 3 types. This provides a really difficult challenge. The optimal attack value, in my opinion, is 3.500%. This is not a little, I would say quite the opposite. But it is possible during this event. Of course, you can reduce the required value by reducing your opponent's health and defense. In my case, I collect spearmen and cavalry reductions, in that order. I have a systemic counterattack against cavalry by playing with spearmen, and I avoid the infantry from the windward side. This gives quite interesting effects, because along with weakness synergy I can break through without much difficulty when I already have 3000% attack. This does not mean that I achieve such results every time. Sometimes it takes luck. If I'm not hitting the stats for spearmen, I simply won't be able to get those percentages. Let's move on to the prizes of this event. The currency in the store is Shade of the Evening. It is a blue, thick liquid obtained from trees growing in Quarth, near the House of the Undying. The shop itself is quite well stocked, although personally, instead of crates with a chance for a Heartseeker, I would prefer fragments of this weapon. But what can you do? Additionally, depending on the kingdom's place in the ranking, we receive ranking rewards, which guarantee a Heartseeker for the first place. Win 10 times and we have a weapon at the maximum level, or we can find this weapon in the crates themselves, but the chances are very small. This weapon, next to the ancient scripture, is the most important thing to get here, so it's worth spending a few minutes a day and trying until you succeed. Personally, I will find a use for it, since my Sorin is already awakened at the maximum level, and by gaining more from collecting I will significantly increase my development speed, until I don't want to fight on Glorious again and I decimate my army. Take care and see you soon. I almost forgot. There is one more thing worth talking about. Modify warship. For each completed goal, at each stage, except of course for the last goal in the last stage, we obtain a warship modification hammer in the amount of 5 to 7. Thanks to these hammers, we can slightly modify our warship, gaining increased statistics, and above all, we increase the amount of voyage supplies, and we also reduce the cost of salvage, shipwreck, and attacks. In this order, i.e., number of voyage supplies, reduction of salvage costs, and reduction of attack costs, I recommend modifying the ship. This gives you a much greater advantage over the rest of the available modifications. The next modification should be the number of armies, but the 3 above are the most important. Of course, in my opinion. See you at sea, comrades.